Greetings, my fellow dragon allies. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Dragon's Prophecy, Episode 2, The Fabled Blessing. Next up, I am going to work on smithing, but then have you guys vote instead. So what should I research? Stone cutting, smithing, beer, right bow, electricity. Have you picked between those 5 options? Seems pretty reasonable to me. Alright, let's not allow sewing for now so that we can get the trap tunnel built. I've not been attacked yet, but Randy, whatever his name is, I think disrespecting his name is going to cause me to get sieged. Likes to fight, so I better be ready for it. I'm going to also roof off or cap off the tunnel, but leave it open, just so that if there's like manhunters or something coming in, I have the ability to close the door and not have them waste the traps, because that's a lot of steel to just burn on manhunters, which I could just bunker instead. Please don't step on traps, though. So, with that in mind, no roof here. Okay, we're just about done with the trap tunnel. And it looks like overwhelmingly you guys think stone cutting is the way to go. So I will change research priorities. Oh, that shouldn't be that thing there. Okay, if we do have 3 boars, I will go try to kill the 4th here in the morning. But that's probably enough meat for now. Let's resolve that pull. And then, what should we... Actually, I'm going to hold off on what should we build next, because I think the options are going to radically change very soon. A mad rat. Okay. Guess they're coming to me. It's probably going to go through the trap tunnel and die. There it is. New area revealed. So this is why I've been ignoring you, Lady Shell. Because I didn't need a meditation spot. Till just now. All right, let's plant some potatoes. Maybe I'll shrink the zone a little. No, that's probably fine. I mean, it's literally in the lore that inside of this mountain there was a guile tree, which is a Persian lore of like the world tree. So, I mean, what else could there be in there, right? All right, getting the last of the traps up. So how many am I going to have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9? That's pretty good. Might be able to take out like 7 or 8 raiders at a clip. So if I end up with corpses that are going to rot, I'll start making pemmican. Here comes our potatoes. So it's not a particularly rich soil here, but it should support potatoes at the very least. And then I'm going to cut plants on the inside. And I am almost done with these deadfalls. So, what should the next goal be? Just typing up some options. And there they are. Alright, Tati is now done with the fences. So, current priority is to vote. Cast ye votes. Lady Shell is getting pretty close to having stone cutting done, so I will revisit that poll in a moment. And Tati is down here poking around these caves a bit more. Not finding anything yet. But I definitely could put some bedrooms in there if I so wanted to. I think it would also be a good idea not to roof it up, because that would kill the tree. So I will remove that from a thing that we would even consider doing. And then I'm also going to expand a home zone over it as well, so that we keep it clean and tidy. Alright, what's on your nerves? A dull barracks, and you're in darkness. Well, you're in darkness because it's nighttime. I don't yet have the ability to control day and night. Let's have you go for a cobra. Yeah, you can see if they're moving around, it can be a little tricky to try to analyze. It's best to wait for when they're asleep, like this. So get the monkey instead. Oh, and the cobra just keels over and falls asleep. Hey, Zilla, while you're down here, get the cobra. Cobras are kind of rare. The rarer the creature, the more likely I am to want to grab it in terms of a analysis, because if we can't count on it being around all the time. So cobras are just less common than, for instance, rhinos or elephants, which are big and pretty impressive, but it doesn't say tag the impressive ones. So we're at 9.6, not bad. Not bad at all. So splashing up the goals here. I have 0 dragons, but I do have 9.6% of all species. I need a south door on my barracks now. I think I do. I think you're right. A door here wouldn't be a bad idea as soon as those beds get moved. But it really depends on that right there. Because what I can do is just roof up right over the beds themselves so that we're not sleeping out in the open, while also working on exploring the caves and the like. So Tati, looks like exploring the caves is going to be the goal. And I'm also going to try to build bedrooms while I explore the caves, and do both. So. Putting both as my priority up top. So for bedrooms, they're going to be very modest at first, I think. I'll have it kind of as large as I think I can get away with. And then there might be a bit of an issue where they sleep ends up a mining tunnel, depending on where we end up mining. There we go. Some basic bedrooms. I'm going to create some more zones. So this zone here is going to be called Inside. And that's going to be in the case of animal manhunters or some other external danger so that I can zone them correctly. All right, we're coming very close to having stone cutting done. So let me include some options here. Smithing, beer, great bow, electricity, devil strand, or harp. What do you guys think? There it is. And I will just put smithing as the generic for now. Some of this... No, this meat is actually sticking around a while, so I don't really need to worry about that at the moment. That's good. Make sure to doing our cleaning. Yeah, we're starting to get bedrooms. It's an awful little bedroom, but, you know, room for improvement, right? Room for improvement. And then I'll also stick an illumination source in each bedroom so that if we have to do medical tending or something like that, we're not in the dark. Cheers. So as soon as Zilla is done, or Tati rather, is done constructing up the initial bedrooms, I'll have her start to spelunk and explore to see how we can expand down here. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea to eventually smooth out all the flooring in here so that it doesn't become natural tile, and that way we draw a lot less filth as a result. So now I'm just going to be digging. The plan to explore is to essentially just dig until I hit Overhead Mountain, and not to expose any overhead mountain tiles so that we don't get infestations, or at least not until we think we can handle infestations. So there we go, we have an overhead mountain tile there. Stormy. Giving the little ones some peanuts. Okay, smithing it is. And then I'm going to do Great Bow afterwards, because it looks like Great Bow was the runner-up. Oh, some boomalopes. I hope they don't start eating my crop. Since it's raining, it might not be a terrible idea to hunt the boomalopes while we have a natural rain happening so that any fires that are caused by the boomalopes can be solved. So we're at 11%, not bad. We're like a fifth of the way there. And I already have boomalopes analyzed. What about capybaras are analyzed? Yep. Ooh, some silver. Not bad. Just so that I don't have to keep updating the home zone. Get a jump start on it in just make it giant. So we have hit some overhead mountain here. I don't think I'm going to be going any further in this spot. So we'll go around it. Give 1 second. Okay, I think it might be a good idea now that we're getting a bit of an excess of rice to start with pemmican. And I'm going to do pemmican until we have 1,000, let's say. It would be a good idea to reinstall the animal database deeper into the mountain, yeah. So I'll go and do that, so it can't get destroyed. And Tati, you should be mining over research. So I actually have no idea why you weren't mining just now. She was doing research, but I don't understand that at all. You assume the open area with the animatry is susceptible for pod raiders? Yes, yes it is. I have no, unlike Fuel Barons of Tatooine, I have no defenses against pod raiders. Like base shields or anything like that. Although dragons would be pretty good defense against pod raiders. With stone cutting, I don't think it would be a terrible idea for me to get a stone cutter up. So I'll work on that. Oop, that's looking dirty, dude. We don't need dysentery. Alright, taking a look at the wildlife. Nothing interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on these bumelos, though. I know it's not raining anymore, but I fully suspect that they're going to start eating my rice, and I don't really want that. Is the stockpile considered outside? No, it is not. Oh, no, it is actually now considered outside. So let's just stick a generic wall here. And then leave the door open. Because this is a big enough zone that it's causing it to be an outside designation. You were right. Tati, why do I keep catching you, Okay. Alright. It's gonna be like that, isn't it? I'm gonna fight you. So I'm gonna start exploring... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you a whole lot of stuff to mine. Mine out all of the non-overhead. And that way I won't catch you mining as often. So we're lacking wood, but I just opened it up so that my plant cutters can cut trees, and I'm going to expand this zone a bit as well. And that way we get the door. There's a lot of animals native to this biome that we haven't analyzed yet, but some of that is just because it's really far away. Because they're on the other side of the map. Ah, fungus. How do we feel about fungus again? Despised. Okay, you know what? Keep that forbidden. And we have visitors from Druidic Vine, yet again. So I don't so much have caves to explore as just expanding out this mountain to the point where we can't anymore. So over here, I will make any stone blocks and drop them on the floor when we're done. And then if Jajia has nothing else going on for him, let's add crafting to their queues. More travelers from Druidic Vine. Holy cow. How about, can I get like a wanderer that joins or something? I would feel a lot more comfortable if I had more people. Isn't making bedrooms a big waste of wood? So on this YouTube channel, what gets voted on is what I do. So whether it is a waste or not is sort of moot, because if it's voted on, that's what just gets done. It's not about the smart play, it's about the majority rules. So it, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's a smart idea. And I know that bothers some people. I definitely have a lot of YouTube comments that are more or less people griping about, I can't believe that chat voted for, but like at the end of the day, that's a pretty good reflection of real life. There's a lot of things that like, I can't believe that X or Y is a thing. And it's like, well, but it's not up to me, you know? I'm not the dictator of these series. Unlike a lot of other content creators, I sort of follow the rules and guidelines that I set, but of course then allow you all to have your own fingerprints on the content as well. For better or for worse. Sometimes it's for worse, but you know, if that's what you vote on, that's what you vote on. I accept it. And yeah, of course, sometimes viewers want to watch the world burn. So where are we with the species percent? 11? That's something. So, little update. 11% of the species, still no dragons. We haven't had any dragons wander in or anything like that. Kind of holding my breath, hoping that happens. So I am up to about half of the pemmican that I said I wanted. Oh, it's raining again, so it's boom time. Sorry, capybaras, you're off the... Well, actually not sorry. You're off the hook. I won't be hunting you for a bit. You are in luck. Shivaroo, thank you for the reset. And I think I missed yet another puppy treat. I apologize. So we're hitting some overhead mountain in the compacted steel area as well. Once I have some marble blocks made to be able to fill in overhead mountain, I can start mining out the areas that have steel and the like. And I definitely have enough wood, so I'm going to have Judea start to sow the heel root, because once the heel root's done, I'll go to cotton, maybe hops if we vote for beer brewing. Finish what you start, Zilla. Is the pathway to the mountain overhead mountain? No. I don't have any overhead mountain revealed in my starting area yet. There are some other micro mountains out there, but this is the geographical landforms of Lone Mountain. I guess there's another Lone Mountain to my southeast. But this Lone Mountain is special because it has a Galcarena tree, whereas there are no other Galcarena, or in this case, anima trees in existence. This is the only one. Okay, we sort of hit the western edge of the overhead mountain there. And we'll just keep exploring it. And I'm going to pull you all again about priorities here in just a second. So, what should the priority be? Build, gain a Psycaster. Build a dining recreation room. Expand the farm. Set up storage. Improve defenses. Or viewer suggestions. What do you guys think? Looks like we're about 2/3 of the way getting our first batch of psychoid as well, which is going to be nice. Now, I also have complex clothing, so I don't think it would be a bad idea for me to get like tail caps or something like that, so that we can stay warmer or cooler depending on the temperature demands. Right now, it's actually pretty temperate, but as we head into the summer, that's going to change. Have I still not been raided? I haven't, and I don't really know why. It actually concerns me. In my experience, the longer that Randy Random waits to mess with you, the harder he messes with you when he does. It's one of those sort of fingers crossed situations where it could be coming. All right, smithing is just about done. And how close to 700 of the 1,000 pemmican I said? Not bad. I'll get great bone next. Oh, first shot! Look at that! Right in the neck. And for a level 3 shooter, that's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. Another thing I have here, if you may have noticed, is I'm in a rainforest, so I can count on there being rain in a rainforest. Surprise, surprise, how it got its name. So I do have my butchery open, because the amount of time it takes to butcher a creature isn't so prohibitive, but one of the advantages of having an open butchery like this is A, wild animals can't get to the corpses, and B, the blood gets washed away from the rain. So we literally just now watched the blood get washed away, so that's one less thing to clean, which is kind of nice, in my opinion. Just low-tech solutions for a problem that, you know, we could face. All right, so it looks like you guys want me to gain a Psycaster. Besides that, what other thing do you want me to do? So let me update the priority. Explore the caves. Meditate at the tree. And vote. So if we're meditating at the tree, I think it's a good time for us to have group meditation for, let's say, 3 hours a day in the morning. Seems reasonable to me. Tati is still exploring the caves. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit more of a focused approach to try to find the edges of the zoning here, rather than just fill out the edges, or fill out the perimeter. So mine in one direction until we hit Overhead Mountain, then mine in another direction until we hit Overhead Mountain. That kind of deal. Oh, but look, they're right now they're meditating without even a prompt, just for their own recreation. Oh, good. Right as the rain stopped, you decided to kill the boomalope. Okay, rain just picked up, so that will help a bit. Surprisingly enough, I only lost a few heal root, so that could have been a lot worse. No relationships yet. And we have hit the pemmican requirement of 1,000. If we raise it up anymore, I would consider raising it up again, I should say, but but maybe not for a bit. That's a pretty good amount of food in the bank. Oops. Did it twice. All right, Tati. Let's find the edges. I think that was the last boomal up around here. Looks like there was a boomal up that died up here too, because giant swath of forest that has been destroyed. And that looks like lightning. I mean, I guess it could have been lightning. Hard to say. Okay, group meditation time. Trying to get that anima grass growing. So when you have buildings within the range of an anima tree, you regain your psi focus more slowly, but the grass grow rate is the same. So it's not. I'm not being penalized for being close to an anima tree because there are structures nearby. Is the dragon egg enclosed in walls? It is. And it is 25% of the way to being hatched. Uh-oh. Gotta keep an eye on that. I don't want that spreading up towards me. And we hit Overhead Mountain on the west side over here now. Looks like this is going a little deeper. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this. Unfortunately, it's right in Zilla's bedroom. I'll put a door down for Zilla. Hey, hey! Another little area. Looks like there's something here as well. But we'll get that door so Zilla's bedroom isn't destroyed. And then maybe I will cut a path around Zilla's. Although all the bedrooms and their current layouts that are set up right now are definitely to be changed. Nothing that you see me mining right now is like permanent or even semi-permanent. God of War, thank you for the bits. And for hitting the 9 months. Lady Shell, in the dark? I think you could do better than that. And Zilla's starting to do some stone cut, which means that I need plant zones. So, I did say that cotton would be good next one, so that I can have things like poker tables and billiard tables. So we will do cotton, and then maybe a strip of Tinctoria as well. All right, next goal is a dining recreation room. So question, where should the dining recreation room go? Outside the caves or inside the caves? What do you guys think? Should I be considering relocating a lot of the facilities internally? So I want to talk about the overall sort of concept of the series. One of the rules of the series is that the outside world does not discover that we are a technologically advancing tribe. So one of the concepts that I want to work towards is that we hide a lot of our high-tech things in the cave. But with that said, so that we actually look like a real tribe, I want sort of a fake faux tribe setup outside. where it looks like we have cabins and it looks like we have things going on, so that it's not just like, oh, you live in like a little, you know, in a tiny little sliver of the edge of a mountain, yet you have good clothing and bows. That makes no sense. So we need to make a prop village out here to fool everybody, but truly we'll live inside. So to that end, where do you think we should set up the dining room? And it looks like inside is winning, but you got 2.5 minutes to vote. And I don't really mind either way. And we can even have a prop recreation room outside, especially one that would be useful for traders to use, because the traders running into our dining room is obviously going to be problematic. So we want to set up something to prevent traders from thinking they can casually walk into our home, because then we're going to have to kill them. And you don't get trade partners by murdering them off, so I've been told. Another thing that we could be considering as we push towards electricity is moving a kitchen with freezer into the mountain. So that could be helpful as well. You definitely like the idea of a decoy dining room? Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be necessary to keep the traders out of where the traders shouldn't be. So it's not only a good idea, it will keep us alive. Because otherwise, we end up with a situation where traders come waltzing in and they see things like solar panels and batteries, and they're like, oh, yes, so it's time to tell the you know, everybody else that we're not actually tribal, and I don't really want to be in that situation. Sounds like a bad time. Yeah, the Ecumen Imperium definitely does not need to know that we are capable at defending ourselves. Okay. How about mine there? So you have this other area down here, which is marshy, but with moisture pumps, it might be possible to have additional growing areas inside. It also looks like you guys want dining room inside the cave. Done. I will do just that. Should I consider moving the real kitchen inside as well? Because if so, I'll probably want to set up a kitchen dining room combo. Boop. Oh, that's a nice boop. I like that boop. So we are still getting that rice. At some point, I might want to switch the rice over to corn, because corn is a little bit less effort than rice. Although more blight, more of a blight risk. It's like a flight risk, right? More of a blight risk, says the TSA. This mountain is suspiciously holy. I didn't change this mountain at all. This is just RNG at its finest. Not modified by me. The tree I put there, but the mountain is natural. Oh, Manhunter pack of monkeys. Well, it is good timing because I am going to use my inside only zone. So schedule, inside. And then let's expand the inside so that I can actually work in here. One of the advantages of forced inside time is we're going to get a lot more... Oh, how close are the monkeys? I might be able to get the deadfall traps closed as well. That would be helpful. A little risky, given that there's a swarm of monkeys coming to tear my limbs off, but there we go. Now they can't trip the traps either. And this is the first raid. Yeah, if you take a look at the history here, you can see this is the only combat that I've had to face. So it looks like, yes, it is a go that I set up a kitchen inside. So I think what I'm going to do is set up a steel zone here, just to get it out of the way. Put this is preferred for steel. And that way, in the morning, because now that we're sort of locked in for a few days due to the monkeys, there's only 7 of them, so if I really did want them killed, I could risk walking up the tunnel here and then propping the door open or something like that. But I think it's probably good that we have inside time. So I want to use my inside time properly. And I think I'm going to choose to put my kitchen here. Sort of where this, this zone is. So I'm going to try to excavate this as much as I can, meaning that Tati's west wall probably should be walled up so she isn't in the kitchen. And then that leaves the sort of western side of where this tree is as the dining room. And I want to design a kitchen that is capable of freezing, meaning that we'll want to work in a potential chimney into it as well. And then everybody else in the community, if they should be pretty busy. I don't suspect that they're going to run out of tasks because they can start stone cutting, and then we're going to get a lot of stone out of this as well. Wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to move the egg to somewhere more secure. So I'm going to stick a marble door here and stick the egg in there. As that is... The egg is worth a whole lot. It's worth 66,000, or yeah, 6,600. Meaning that if I do get raided by humans, it's one of the first things that they're going to try to steal because it's highly valuable. This mountain is going to be mazed at some point? No. Generally speaking, overhead mountain zones in RimWorld eventually conclude with, like, finite regions. Basically fancy for, I'm going to run out of space sooner or later. Alright, so I'm going to get a second stonecutter table up. And let's move this. Dragon nest. Okay, that's a pretty well secured egg, I think. You can build a roof over it. I don't think it's going to get hit by lightning, but I'd rather not give it the chance. So if I'm planning on nesting my kitchen in and around here, and the reason here, I want it close to the entryway, but not so close to the entryway it could be endangered from a raid, because I fully expect that some raids do breach the mountain and get inside, and if they breach the mountain and get inside, I don't want my kitchen to be the first thing that gets destroyed, because kitchens are rather sensitive areas that you don't normally want to get nuked. And it's also entirely possible that I'm going to have to in eating vegetarian simple meals, given that these monkeys are stopping me from hunting, which is totally okay. Our moods have kept up. We actually haven't even had a mental break yet, so not worried about that. Oh, I struck uranium ore? Yeah, that's uranium, okay. It's one of those mountains, huh? Nuclear. So, about needing to look Neolithic, I actually have a mod installed that covers that. So, in RimWorld lore, architect limbs are indistinguishable from organic limbs, but obviously bionic limbs, it implies that bionic limbs are not. Which means that architect limbs would be okay for our people to have, architect limbs and architect eyes, but not bionics. Internal bionics, like a bionic heart, bionic stomachs, would be okay, because they wouldn't be obviously visible from an external standpoint. So there is a fine line where we can modify ourselves to a degree up into the point where it's visible or not. So already covered. If you check the mods list, which is in details, you'll see that I'm using a mod called Hidden Eyes, which hides the architect. The mod also hides the bionic eyes, but it hides the visual effect of the architect eyes. Because if you read the information behind an architect eye, even its own tooltip says that these eyes are supposed to be indistinguishable from organic eyes. And then, of course, we can make use of a biosculptor as well, because there's no way for the outside world to know that we've been biosculpted. So if we end up with injuries that could be resolved through biosculpting, that's another totally fair method to hide our advanced technology. And our ideology also has biosculpting accelerated, as if we're a transhumanist, although we're not. But, so if we do get scars and injuries like that, we can always biosculpt the solution. Okay, Great Bow's done, and I'm going to start to do draconic drug production, which allows me to plant jeweled orchids, which are rather important for dragons. And then I'm going to have you vote on what is next. What should I research next? So that was Great Bow and smithing that we got done. So beer, electricity, Devil's Strand Harp, or draconic incubation. Draconic incubation is maybe not that important, because it is electricity reliant, but it allows us to set up a dragon pillow, I suppose. So you can vote for that if you want. It's not that lengthy of a research project, so it's not going to take me forever. And visitors. Oh, I have bad news for you visitors, unless you want to get bitten by monkeys, which I have in real life. So do not advise. 0 out of 10 would not do again. Yep, good luck to you guys, 'cause I'm not helping. Nowhere in the rules does it say I have to go help. Dragon pillows are a critical technology, sure, but we don't even have dragons yet, so that's why I thought it was not so critical. Not so mission critical until we have dragons. And then they can sit upon the pillows and reign over us. A logger needing help. I'm going to have you vote on this soon as well. It's someone who is paralyzed. So I'll read it. Zihan Huang, Prime Counselor of the Commonwealth, is requesting a favor. His friend, Fluff, is interested in learning about other cultures, and he wants me to host Fluff. So if we do accept a mission like this, I have to be very careful about what this guest has access to. So I'll have to set up a special zone for guests like this, so that they don't enter the mountain at any point. So it's entirely possible for me to accept this. However, the quest rewards, I only could accept it for a Great Bow. I'm not going to be allowed to accept it for anything that is non-Neolithic. So if we do accept the logger needing help, it will be for a Masterwork Great Bow, and that's the only option. All right, now that the guests of mine have culled the monkeys I can get back outside. Still working on that kitchen and dining room. I'm trying to figure out how far west I can build, because until I know the dimensions of this mountain, it's really hard to plan anything. So I'm going west first for an understanding. Looks like I'm going to be able to do some psychoid. So let's also stick a make tea, drop on floor, do it forever zone here. And I hope Zilla, yes, so Zilla's starting to get us some meat so we can get our fine meals back, because fine meals are obviously going to be better. And I'm not going to resow this psychoid field just yet, because that's a lot of psychoid that we just got. Like 500 something of it, so that's a lot of tea. Plenty. I couldn't help it. Oh, man. I'm going to pun hell. Thank you for tuning in to Dragon's Prophecy, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 25th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dragon Ratter.